We all know dogs are a man's best friend, but sometimes they can be a little handful, especially when they're just a tiny little puppy. In fact, that was the problem for one family whose young dog kept running away from home. But luckily, on the day that this family needed their dog the most, he came running back to them, saving the day in the process. This is the incredible story of how a runaway puppy saved his family $3, $0, and an emergency room visit. It all started when a woman from South Carolina named Alexis Sharkey Foster noticed that her 11-week-old puppy was missing. She had adopted the little guy, whose name is Captain, just 2 weeks prior to the incident, and she admitted that he was a handful. He was getting into everything, Alexis said. He was a little adventurer. In fact, he was so adventurous that he would often sneak out of the house and go exploring. And that's exactly what happened on the day in question. Alexis let Captain out to use the bathroom, but when she went to bring him back in, she couldn't find him anywhere. I looked around the yard and couldn't see him, she said. And then I looked on the porch, and he wasn't there either. That's when I knew he had gotten loose again. At this point, Alexis's boyfriend, Michael Hensley, decided to go look for the puppy, while Alexis called her mother and sister to help search for him. Meanwhile, Captain was on his way to a friend's house. When Michael let him out earlier, Captain had gone exploring and made his way to a neighbor's house. The neighbor, whose name is Ashley, was happy to take care of Captain until Michael could get there to pick him up. But she had no idea that Captain had already caused a ruckus in the house. According to Ashley, Captain immediately began chewing on everything in sight. He chewed on my couch, my curtains, even my car keys, she said. Luckily, though, Captain didn't do any real damage and Ashley was able to keep him calm until Michael arrived to pick him up. Once Captain was back at the house, Alexis decided to take him on a walk to see if he would try to run away again. But much to her surprise, he didn't, in fact. He seemed much calmer than before and actually listened to her commands. Maybe he learned his lesson about running away, she thought. So Alexis decided to just enjoy the rest of her day. Meanwhile, she had no idea that her father, who was visiting from out of town, had suffered a serious injury. You see, Alexis's dad had been taking care of a family member's horse while they were on vacation. But when he tried to get the horse to come inside so he could give it medicine, the horse kicked him in the head, knocking him unconscious. Luckily, a neighbor found him soon after and was able to call for help. But when paramedics arrived, they had some bad news for Alexis's mom. Her dad had suffered a traumatic brain injury and needed to be airlifted to the nearest hospital. I got the call and immediately rushed to my parents' house, Alexis said. I was terrified. I knew that something was wrong because my mom wouldn't tell me what had happened. She was just crying. When Alexis got to the house, her mom told her what had happened and the two immediately got in the car to drive to the hospital. But they had no idea that Captain had other plans. Just as they were about to leave, Alexis remembered that she hadn't put Captain back in his crate. So she quickly went back inside to get him. But when she opened the door, he wasn't there. At first, Alexis thought that maybe Captain had managed to escape again. But then she saw his leash by the door. It dawned on her that he had never been a big fan of riding in the car. So he probably just didn't want to go to the hospital with them. Feeling relieved that he hadn't gotten loose again, Alexis and her mom got in the car and rushed to the hospital. But when they arrived, they were shocked to see Captain waiting for them in the parking lot. I couldn't believe my eyes, Alexis said. I was so scared when I got the call about my dad, and I just wanted to get to the hospital as fast as possible. But Captain must have known how important it was for me to be there. He saved the day. You see, when Alexis and her mom got to the hospital, they were able to get a $3, $0 discount on the emergency room visit because Alexis's dad was a veteran. And they also didn't have to wait as long to see a doctor. It was such a relief to know that he was okay, Alexa said, and I owe it all to Captain. Though we don't know exactly how Captain managed to get to the hospital, we do know that he definitely has a big heart, and I'm sure that he'll make a wonderful dog someday.